morning, good morning, good morning, good morning. Sorry about that. It's a little having some technical difficulties, but we're here. Good morning. Thank you for rocking with the Brothers of Legacy. I am your host, A.D. Walker, the pusher, the grower, the motivator. I appreciate you guys for being here. Thank you for all that you do. Thank you for being a part of everything that we are creating and building and doing. So today we are discussing why it's important for dads to show up, why it's important for dads to show up. Good morning, Deborah. Good morning, Mama Corey. Blessings, Lisa. Thank you for always sharing. And Sam says hello, because I know it's just kind of black screen. So listen, make sure you are connecting with others. If you're part of our text community, make sure you text LW into 845-76. Text LW into 845-76. Never miss a broadcast, never miss a broadcast or episode with the brothers. I don't have a long intro. It's one of those days. So listen, again, you could be anywhere but you're here with us. So I do not take that time for granted. So we're gonna have an amazing show. Why it's important for that is to show up. And all that and then some. Today is Thursday, Thankful Thursday, Thirsty Thursday, depending on what your Thursdays look like. But happy Thursday and all that and then some. All right, so what we're gonna do is get you ready to get started. We hit you with this intro. Should be the last days of this intro. All right, we'll be right back after this.
I want to welcome you to the Brothers of Legacy broadcast, where we are changing our community one conversation at a time, every day.
We are creating a new legacy.
Change gon' come, change gon' come, change gon' come, change gon' come, change gon' come.
A co-op has to start with ownership. Right. We have a mindset of either I want to make a lot of money or survive. Make a bunch of money or I got to figure out how to survive.
When you have a real bond, when everyone has, we come in with real expectations. Mm-hmm. Because this is covenant.
The whole point is that we as a people, with our money and time, aren't often making this just possible, often vested in the legacy.
You're watching the Brothers of Legacy. We don't stand out. We stand up.
All right. Welcome back. All right. So today we're talking about why it's important for dads to show up, why your presence matter. And David, my wife, Sam, my wonderful wife, she hit me with this topic. And I was like, man, that's right on time. It's Father's Day month. But you know what I'm saying. So we're in the midst of this season. You got Mother's Day, Father's Day, and kind of a focus on parents and things of that nature. And why it's important for a father to be in their child's life actively. At least as far as I see, and having consistent contact, with your kids on a daily basis. I think it makes a huge difference. And you why do I stutter or wonder if anything different? Only because, because some people have such different family dynamics, and mom and dad may not get along, or they just can't be together like that because they just don't jive well. Just let's keep it regular. May not like each other anymore for whatever reason. And I don't know. I find it important to definitely be a staple in your children's life, consistently. And the clarity of whatever your situations are, your children need to know, what's going on. I don't see you as much, whatever may be the blockage, just for clarity's sake. Children, of course, are more understanding and forgiving than any adult, because they'll give you 1,000 shots. I'll honestly say to probably like teenager, then they're just like, yeah, I'm done with you. For the most part, as long as you're not abusive to mom or anybody else around them, they're pretty like forgiving. Like, okay, it's a new day. I think you're gonna be a new person. So you get a lot of shots, especially when they're young. You get a lot of shots. You get a lot of shots, a lot of opportunities to make it right. Dozen opportunities to make it right. And I don't know, I'm going straight there because any dad that might be creeping on here later or seeing the replay, don't ever come in here live, or maybe live, because there are several people that don't say anything, but they sit in the background and they watch. It's important. It's important that you're inputting into your children's life. I'll even go far as to say, I know even your life as a dad may be kind of jacked or rough, or you're struggling with something, avoiding, of course, putting the burden of what your struggle is on them, you being visible makes sense. Because if you've watched any TV show, of course, or if you heard and talking to men, grown men that not had their dad in their life, or had like little contact with them, it's always on your brain. It's always on your brain. Right, definitely. It's always input in a healthy way. It's always on their brain, And my dad passed in 2001, and I think about him. You understand what I'm saying? He was in my life. I woke up, seen the dude, went to bed, seen the dude. He was in my life. And so I can't imagine like if he wasn't. I'd always be wondering, always thinking like, did that dude look like me? Or if I seen him, did he have these same struggles? Always those questions. So, and like I said, he's been going since 2001, and I still think about him. There be moments stuff I'm going through. I'm like, man, I wish I had that dude. I could just call and dump my issues on him. Like, just I need someone I can just dump everything on you without thoughts. And it's like I can't imagine like if he wasn't in my life. So I know guys wonder. And like I said, this is for any man that is coming through that's seeing this replay. That's like, yeah, but I'm all jacked up. He and she, if you have a daughter or daughters or sons with an S, it matters. It matters. You do not have to be perfect, man. Just as long as you don't bring drama and issue and problems, and promise things that you don't come through with. Don't promise nothing. Don't, like, if you already know before you say it out of your mouth that I'm unsure if I'm gonna come through, don't. So I don't promise my children nothing. Me and Sam, or the wife, we made a pact that we don't promise nothing. This is always the closer they get to, yeah, we're going to, is we will see. We will see. I'm not sure. 100%, I plan on it, but things happen. The hate, because once you say it, it don't matter. Don't matter what happens, they want it to come to pass. So, I'm telling you, we're planning trips, planning to go great places. Like, there's no discussion about where we're going until we get there. Because things happen. Things happen all the time. all the time. I remember we and I'm laughing, and it wasn't funny at the time, but we got into like a car accident. We was headed, I think Lexi got an award, our daughter got an award, and she got like a Chick-fil-A, free Chick-fil-A coupon. And it was like, boom. My wife's not the biggest fan. I'm okay with it, Chick-fil-A. And we were headed there. I think so. I think we did something, and we were headed there. And then we had, I feel like we had someplace else. I think it was church day. We was going someplace else. But anyway, we was headed there. And we got into an accident. Car like smashed. My wife got hurt like on her side or whatever. Like after it was like, everybody good? We shook up. The first thing, we still going to Chick-fil-A? Like, babe, we can't even move the car, babe. We can't. So it's like, she was like, Chick-fil-A still on my brain. I'm a little rattled, but we still doing this Chick-fil-A thing, right? So my thing is, it doesn't matter, right? Right. So my mom almost died, and she was like, "Are we still going to Chick-fil-A?" Like, oh, Mama's getting on that stretcher. All right, Dad, we still going to Chick-fil-A? He said, unless we are absolutely sure, we never want to disappoint them haphazardly. Yeah. So, like I said, your presence is very important, and I don't know. Like sometimes I overthink it, but I realize just your availability, just being there means the world. Now, you get into the layers of teaching and showing and trying to help direct their lives so they are growing up to be productive and strong and very social men and women. But your presence, just being available, means a lot, because like I said, the number one question, it was like, dude, you disappeared. I needed you, like you weren't around. And that's always, you see it on TV, and as well as talking to guys, like he's just, that shit, where you been at? Like, I don't even know, like I can't even imagine how I would feel, after with my son like 30, seeing me for the first time probably since he was born, and he don't remember that. And like, where were you at? And God forbid, they went through struggle and went through a bunch of mess, and I'm over here, of course, looking like I'm living my best life. Doesn't matter that I struggle with whatever. And if I have a whole nother family, like I would trip out. Like I over here living your best life, got this fam, and you ain't see me. Like I don't know. Like I feel like whenever I see shows and people say stuff, and I'm like, my face tightens. Like, oh my gosh, like my 30-year-old, 35-year-old, like the first question, because that'd be mine. Like, Negro, where have you been? Like, you tell me you were locked up or in the CIA, boom, high five. There ain't nothing else I can say. I was like, I get it. Like, you didn't know, I didn't know, it just happened, That's honestly, this is the only time jail will work. So, once you were born, I went out with my homeboys to celebrate, got into a scuffle. I stabbed somebody like a couple of times and they died, so last 30, I've been busy, and your mama didn't want to put that on you, like, let's get it. I was like, I get it. That's the only time. That's it. It's the only time. But outside of that, yeah. All right. So let me bring, I got Pastor hanging in the wings. Let's go ahead and do that. And did I not do this? Oh man. Well, it's gonna be an interesting show. Let's go.
You're watching the Brothers of Legacy. We don't stand out. We stand up.
I do that. What's up, Pastor? Good morning. I did.
Good morning. Good morning. I was just sitting back here eating my popcorn. I wish I had some popcorn.
I was just talking about, I lost my dad in 2001, and I think about him, you know, and I'm just like, even just to me, just even if you show up in the most healthiest way possible, I think, wouldn't you say, like, at least just seeing and trying to be present, you know, like, in as active as you possibly can without making huge promises, you know, just having connection with your dad would make some kind of a difference. Because you probably wonder, like, I wonder who he's like as an adult. You know, do I look like him now? You know, like, is he struggling like I'm struggling in this same space? You know, and I was thinking about you. I was like, because you never had an opportunity to meet your father, or have you, like, at least once? Never. Never.
No.
Okay.
Closest I ever came was being on his porch.
Yeah, I remember you told
1984.
me that story. Right.
Yeah.
Right. Okay. Okay. So I was, you know, and like I said, you know, that'd be my first question. Like, if I ran, dude, where have you been? Like, you know, and even as a grown man, I was like, I know you don't, like I said, other than locked up or in some CIA Secret Service program or something, you know, those are the only reasons I'd be like, oh, okay. You know, like, I get it. You couldn't do nothing. You went to jail. You know, like, outside of that, yeah, it'd be hard. I mean, in my mind, you can get to the forgiveness eventually. Okay. So Rollins said, same situation, but we've talked. Interesting. What's up, Ephraim?
What's going on, fellas?
Good
Good morning.
All is well. Okay,
I don't
so
know if that would be considered the same situation if you've talked.
Right. Right.
That's not the same as never having a conversation.
Right. Richie said witness protection. I know that's right. Like, I see you at 80, like, you know, I'm 80. All the people that are after me are dead. You know, I get it. Like, I can't, you know, I can't be mad completely. Like,
there's levels to all that stuff, man.
Yeah.
Because I think that, and it just depends on how you're raised. How old are you when you do meet? You know, what has life been like? You know, I think sometimes you can spend more time angry, frustrated, disappointed, and that's valuable time that could be used for learning.
Right.
You know, but we're human.
Yeah.
We're human, man. So the same, you know, you can't tell people how to grieve. You know, everybody grieves in their own way. All you want is for people not to stay in that place.
You're right. Don't get stuck.
Yeah.
Yeah, but don't get stuck your own way.
Yeah. Just don't get stuck. That's really it.
Right.
You know,
Said never met my biological father. Okay, found out of him after 30 years old. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. And I can see how you would have lots of questions. I mean, I'm at an age now to where being a father of 5 and having been a parent as long as I've been, I don't really have any questions.
Wait, what do you mean? Wait,
like my father's dead and gone, you know, but I have children, I have grandchildren. So having been a father as long as I've been a father, I understand the challenges with fatherhood. I understand how somebody could run away from fatherhood. I don't support it. I don't agree with it, but I understand.
I hear everything you're saying, but okay. So there's no questions in for that. Like you. So you maybe I'm asking. I'm not saying you're saying this, but are you saying I don't have any why questions? But
I don't have the why questions because everybody's made differently. You know, something has to be wrong for you not to want to parent your children.
Right.
So all I can do is pray, and I'm saying all I'm saying is I've reached an age
where you've seen.
Right, I've seen enough to where I'm saying, I don't have any questions because I've learned you can't force someone to be a parent.
Right.
And if in your heart you want to be a parent, can't nobody stop you either.
Right.
And having the answer to those two things
erases
the questions for me. because the number of times I've wanted to run and disappear because of challenges, but I'm saying, who's left?
Right.
Right. But not just that. I look at, like, for me, it's like I'm so proud of who I've become. I've been to hell and back several times, and I don't mean literally hell. Y'all know that ain't nobody going to hell and back. But
You got it. Nowadays, you got to clarify.
hey, I got to clear that up.
You know, Pastor went to hell back in 05. Like,
he ain't saved. He done already been to hell.
Already. But you know,
there's been situations where it's been so ugly.
Right.
Yeah.
You know, I have felt like I failed, like I was broken, like, you know, man, you're not made it. But hey, those are emotions. Those are human emotions, man. But when I think about my childhood and not having my father, that is a big motivation. Also, to be able to have my fingerprints, my DNA in any accomplishments of my children, to be able to say that I was there. I mean, there's no greater feeling, no greater emotion than that.
I clarify the difference in the questions because I'm saying to have no questions. This is what I'm saying. The why questions, I totally feel what you're saying. Like, whatever the why was, I made it. I'm here. You know what I'm saying? But like, there are some questions that a father could probably answer for you. If nothing else, just regular, just entry questions. Like, okay, you know, what was my grandfather like? Like historical piece that they can fill a gap. Hey, I notice when I get up in the morning, I scratch my left leg, roll over twice. Did you do that? Like, it's like that little gap type of a question. But I'm with you totally on the. So there's some curiosity questions that I would have. But yeah, I'm with you with like the why. You did what you did because you had to do it, or you felt you had to do it, and it is what it is. I'm here. You want to see your grandkids? Like, you know, I get you on totally being straight off the why. Like, you know, people talk about that with God. Like, I'm gonna get to heaven and ask God why. Like, that's not. I mean, one, you can ask him that now if you like, but it's. I'm with you. The why is kind of out the window. Like, people, you had your reasons. You literally can't turn back time. But there are some fill in the gap questions that I think would be interesting, no doubt.
Absolutely. And that's, you know, to me, that's what I mean when I say, you know, instead of spending the time bitter and angry and frustrated, use the time to learn.
Yeah, those are non-bitter questions. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
I got you.
Because the reality is, you know, for me, I would hope that, you know, if you're older, then the father's older and hopefully wiser.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And you won't have to ask. I think it would be volunteered.
Right.
You know.
I got you. All right. Oh, like the why, because he would probably just kind of share, like, you know, after you see him and get over it. I got you.
Yeah, listen, I am, my wife and I have been together. We've been married 25 years, 24 years, 24, 25, something like that. But so I'm divorced once.
Right.
So it's important for me to have those conversations, or to have had those conversations with my children from my first marriage, so they'll understand the pitfalls that can happen when it's not working out. You know, understand, you know, where you need to be before you're committing yourself to someone.
Right.
You know, what doing it too soon looks like, and some of the potential challenges that could come with moving too fast at an early age. So those types of things I think are educational and are important for us as seasoned adults to share with the younger generation, share with our children. So you show up for stuff like that. And I think that stuff should be that's information that should be volunteered instead of someone having to probe.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
I got you. Yeah. I mean,
because I don't want my children to, I mean, they're going to have to live their lives. I don't want them to go through the same type of challenges. I mean, some of the things you cannot avoid, but I want to mitigate as much as I can. So I want to give them as much information as I possibly can without ruining their purview, their vision into their future. I don't want to paint an ugly picture, but I want to make sure that you're informed.
Right. I got you.
Right. Because it's beautiful. You know, there's there's beauty in life and there's challenges in life. And as a
Right.
father, it's important that as a dad, it's important that my family understands what cover, the definition of cover,
Right.
the definition of shepherding.
Yeah.
They need to know what that looks like, especially my daughters, because if all things work well for them, they're going to have a husband,
Right.
a shepherd, a cover.
Right.
So I want them to understand the definition, what that's supposed to look like, what it's supposed to feel like. And you do that by being a father to your children.
Right.
And for my sons, if you have sons, you don't want to make sure they understand what their role would be as a cover, as a shepherd, as a provider.
Definitely.
You know,
Definitely. Providing those examples and things of that nature. I mean, I think we kind of answered this one, Rich, but he said, what if the guy was 15 when he got her pregnant, was overwhelmed by fear and knowing themselves, and they run? Yeah, I mean, we hear, we understand, like I said, the conversation will come up. I mean, I was like, well, you turned 25 at one point, or 30, or 35. I'm gonna get real. That'd be my jab.
Since we talking numbers, ain't we?
you turn into adult eventually, and I was still here. Like, I mean, I'm gonna keep it real. Like I'm with you, Pastor, because like I probably wouldn't hit him with the why. Like I would think about it, like, you know what? I want this to be a good occasion, but he's gonna get jabbed. He's gonna, it happened. Oh yeah, you weren't there. Like he gonna take some shots. Know that.
Yeah,
He's gonna take some shots. Like I might not hit him like, why? Oh my God. And we ain't gonna go through that. But understand, we get at least more than an hour. Oh yeah, you're gonna get some shots. Like,
So petty though.
Right? Oh yeah, this petty's there. Like I might even say, like, listen, I'm not gonna put you in an awkward situation, but understand.
So Rollins did go back. He said he never met his biological father. So I guess he was saying he spoke to him, but never actually met him.
Met him. Right. Yeah. Let's see. He said, my brother said, and his partner said to my niece, you ain't getting married till you 30. Yeah, no, we always say that.
Sounds nice.
Right.
Sounds so good.
Sounds so good. Oh man. So like today, again, welcome to Brothers Legacy. Today we're talking about why it's important for dads to show up, and I kind of started with the absentee dads or ones that may be struggling to come into their children's life. And if you're watching, now's the time. If you feel disconnected, find a way to reconnect. Whatever it is, a fear, struggle, whatever it is, just to be present. Be present. And like I said, I feel like almost between like 1 and 8, you could probably just bust up in there, with little to any question. They just, is that dad? And like I said, kids are like a reset. You have a bad day, you come back, hey, everything's fine. Like, I forgive you. Let's see. What are some lessons you have been adamant about teaching your daughters? Ooh, that's a good question.
Just the value of self.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Being comfortable, confident in who you are,
Right.
and making sure that people don't, you don't allow people to define you or put you in a category. It's important for girls to understand. It's important for girls to be authentically themselves and be okay with that. I mean, obviously, you'd be open for improvement and all of that, but be authentically, be genuine, be who you are, be comfortable in your own skin.
That's the main thing.
Feel good when you look in the mirror.
Right.
When you step outside, so no one else has to make you feel good.
Right.
That's the reality.
Right.
What did Sean say? Look for good manners.
I'm with that, Sean. Look, and not only look like what to look for, because I feel those are in my realm of controllables. I was like almost what Pastor was saying earlier about being that model and being something. I'm giving you what to shoot for. If you don't turn out as handsome as me, hey, that's close enough.
Can't win them all.
But there is something that I'm trying to get you to shoot for, right? Good manners. But there are some things that I'm adding about teaching, but that's, like I say, within my realm of control. But there are some things that I put on her, on their mother, that I can't teach her. Like teach her how to be a lady. Like, and this sounds so old school, but like forgive me, but like grace, poise, you know what I'm saying, how to carry yourself, how to dress. And I know people dress different from way back in the day to now, but I'm saying whatever the moderate, conservative, appropriately to your age dressing there is today's, then do that. You know what I'm saying? But like,
stop, like you act like that's who you went looking for. You wasn't looking for that moderately dressed conservative.
Listen, stop. That what I want for them. I want a better life.
But a better. I'm trying to get them better.
Right. When I was a young savage, and that was wrong, and the things I was looking for weren't right. But be you. You got your shape. You got your stuff. You know what I'm saying. But there's a way you can carry yourself and all that come with you. But it's a way you can carry it that you don't look like some random chick or something like that. So definitely.
So you don't look like what I was looking for when I was young.
Don't look like that. Because I'm gonna tell you what you're gonna get. I'm gonna tell you what you're gonna get. Because that attracts a certain element of young man.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So and those words bring on certain, like you say moderate, some people think of a long sunflower dress. Some people think of, it's the definition can, like, you give meaning to the definition, right? That's what we do with words. But like, be your age, be who you are. Don't come in no 3-piece suit, but like, don't be out there, man. Don't look like some we call them bodies. Don't look like a little body out there. I'll leave that alone. Y'all know where I'm going with this.
I know. I don't know where you're going.
But have grace.
Listen, man. I have. It's not easy being a father to girls.
Mm-mm.
But is it any easier being a father to boys?
From what I heard.
Because girls, you want to make sure they know what to look to.
Mm-hmm.
Right. And boys, you want to teach them to be the target.
Right.
Of what to you understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
100%.
The issue is everybody wants to be young.
Right.
Yeah.
The Bible says we are born in sin and shaped in iniquity.
Mm-hmm.
So we want to do wrong.
Yeah.
we want to behave badly.
We're drawn to it. Yeah.
It's
drawn to it. Right.
Natural.
And I tell my daughters, like, women want to look nice and girls want to, it's funny, girls want to look grown.
Old ladies want to look young.
And at a young age, girls think that looking grown means showing skin.
Yeah.
Because they see what attracts the attention of men.
Yeah.
Right.
And they see grown-ups.
Yeah.
Yep.
Girls learn how to dress watching women.
Yep.
Right. Yeah. 100%.
And they see the attention that women get from men.
Yep.
So telling your daughter, I need your dress to be down to your ankles,
Right.
is ridiculous. Now,
It's pretty
your
good
mama's dress is down to her ankles, but your daughter looking at your mama like, yeah, but you old.
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't see people my age dressing like that.
Right.
Not getting
Then the
attention.
question is, well, mama, how did you dress when you were my age?
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
And I'm not talking about the dress your mom and daddy bought you. I'm talking about the outfit you put on when they weren't looking.
Go and give me them 90s pictures. Let me go and see them 90s pictures.
Nah, do 80s. 90s we were baggy. It was baggy in the 90s.
Let me see them 90s.
Everybody like tomboys in the 90s.
Nah, you forgot Daisy Dukes.
Right.
Oh,
Right.
forgot about the daisies.
Right.
That was a staple in the black household.
Yeah. So what I try to do is just inform. I try to educate. Yes, that's cute. It's sexy. It's all of that. Are you and the other part of it is let them be young, let them learn, train them up, give them the foundational stuff. The Bible says when they get old, they won't depart from it.
Mhm.
Train up a child in the way that they should go.
Yeah.
Right.
Not that they will go,
Right.
that they should go, so that when they're old, they won't. So what I'm saying is put all the good stuff in them and then trust what you put in them.
Right. Tomboy and church girl on Sunday. Yes, indeed.
Yeah.
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 Oh, yeah, definitely.
Because y'all still gonna get hollered at. Like that's what, there's no avoiding it. Like
Yeah.
ladies, don't stop with the hair rolls and the bonnets and the sweats and the pajamas. You go get hollered at. There's no way to dress yourself down that somebody ain't finna holler at you. So I'm not avoiding the inevitable. I'm just saying, like, it's like there's a way, like, you know how Michelle Obama dressed like she's like a lady. You know, they got on her for having her arms out. So I'm not trying to say you can't show no skin, but there's like an old Grace kind of Eartha Kitt kind of and I know this sounds old. I'm just saying there's an elegance that some of the Claire Huxtables, and you don't have to dress outfit for outfit like Claire, but like that Grace, that I don't know, man. Let me stop.
I mean, I get what you're saying. Like, and I say to myself, you know, like even with our daughter, like to me, I think, what are you attracting? You know, the attention that you get. What kind of attention are you looking to get? You know, what level of attention you're trying to get by how much skin that you show. To me, that's you know, I think a lot of what you wear, of course, you know, can attract the wrong attention. And I don't know, like I don't know the perfect formula. You know, I'm like most.
There is no perfect formula. All you can do is give them Jesus.
Yeah.
You know, and be an example before them, inform them. You know, like. Children are victims of the power of influence. Whatever has the most influence, that's what they're going.
Right.
Period.
Yeah.
You know.
And it's bigger. It is bigger.
Girls want to show. I tell them, listen, I don't want to see your breasts.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. I don't want to see so much that I can actually tell.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. I don't want to see your butt. You know, I don't want your shorts to be so small that you know how that little
the cheek
that curve of that cheek. Yeah.
I'm not trying to see that.
Yeah.
right.
But one step further than even just than the skin, because I mean that is the thing, and I know that's a father thing for us. But one step further than that is like on the side of like brand. You know what I'm saying? That's what I'm really shooting
like what?
For. Like your brand. What is okay? What you're trying to be? Do they dress like that? Outside your daddy, outside the religion,
but see, that's the part that I think. As older people, like, go back to when you were 17, bro. Right?
It makes sense.
Yeah.
It makes sense. I'm not saying that crazy.
You didn't have time for the girl who always had the pants all the way. You know, if you could never see nothing, that ain't the girl you was chasing.
I was in the older women though, but I was in the older women.
Older women,
but let's
for
roll
all the
point.
Reasons I'm talking about, because you knew what you got with an older woman. She was developed.
Yeah,
she was confident, and she's gonna go further.
Yeah,
you know, that's real. And what I think what's important for our girls to understand is you.
Right. So that was Jay Plenty, sir.
Oh yeah, but you know what you know that I'm gonna tell you something. Boys chase girls. Period.
Yeah. 100%.
Period. And when you're nice looking, and I don't care what kind of clothes you have on.
Can't hide.
I'm just saying, on average, the draw.
Yeah.
The draw is going to be there more so. And what I tell young girls is, you know, this is great if you want to be somebody's girlfriend, but this don't work when you're trying to be somebody's wife.
Yeah.
And who was it? What was that preacher who said a lot of times we have too many people that are walking around in the spirit of a girlfriend, but not in the spirit of a wife. You know, but when you're young, guys, and you know, I don't know the percentage of people that are looking for wives versus the people that are looking for a notch in their belt.
Yeah.
Right? Are you looking to be a notch in someone's belt? Are you looking for someone to say, "Yeah, I got that. I hit that."
Yeah.
Right? Or are you looking for someone to say, "She's mine"?
Yeah. And you try to raise your kids to make good decisions, right? And we don't make all of like I'm not perfect. I'm just saying I'm trying to equip you to make the good decision. Now we know from the way life is laid out, you're gonna make a different decision every once in a while. But we just try to make the best decision in front of you. And I gotta arm you with what the best decision looks like. You know what I'm saying?
Right. I mean,
I just want to give you enough information to make an informed decision.
That's good.
Right.
Put that on a t-shirt. That's it.
Yeah. Because I want you to make a dumb decision. If it's going to be a decision, it'll be dumb. It won't be ignorant. It won't be for a lack of knowledge. You knew, but you chose to do it anyway. That's where I am. And if that's the case, then we deal with the consequences of that. But at least you know.
Yeah, start off with, but I was just being stupid. Like, okay, all right, good. You were just dumb and you knew better. Yeah.
Yeah.
I got you. I mean, like when I grew up, right? As I was growing up.
As a young lad in
in the hills of New York City. I think, I don't know, like for me, as my 17 or younger self, like I was more relational. Just kind of, I guess, because the way I felt, or my esteem, I'll say it that way. I was never into like the player type, I never gravitated toward that, because of life. Won't say, like some above person kind of, thinking just who I was. I was more relational, like trying instead of just trying to get to the physical, if that makes sense. So
what
my prayer is like, I gotta admit, like I pray my son would be kind of the same mindset, a little better, but kind of the same mindset as far as that goes. And I try to, I guess we teach our daughter to, like you said, to be into moderation and not just for attention. And I know everybody likes attention. Let's keep it 100 at every level. But to try to be in a mindset of what are you trying to attract? What kind of man are you trying to, get the attention of, and how? What's the intention? What's the goal, and things of that nature. And I think that's where I come from with teaching about relationships and things of that nature. And like I said, it was the best plans don't always go right, but like you said, train up a child in a way that you want them to go, so they should go. And prayerfully never depart from, never depart from what you teach.
Yeah, listen, man, I'm gonna tell you something. It's so amazing. Like in my life, I wish I knew who Jesus was earlier.
Right.
Sooner in my life. Okay. I really, really do. Because I realized I grew up with church, but not Jesus.
All right. I'm with you.
And there's a difference. And so for me, I don't work I'm not concerned about my children because I know they know who Jesus is.
Okay.
You understand? Like, I don't want you out here doing stuff wrong. I'm going to father you. I'm going to parent you. I'm going to do all those things. But I'm not going to be as jacked up emotionally because I know you know who Jesus is.
Right. Because I put that
right?
in you.
Because you've been given this now, whether you receive it
right.
and apply it.
Right.
That's up to you, but at least you know.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. And because you know, then I now can put my trust and confidence in God.
Right.
Because I've done my part. Now I still have to raise you, teach you, train 100%. You. But when I see you kind of acting silly, I'm going to discipline, I'm going to respond, but I'm not going to panic. Because my confidence is in the Lord regarding your life. So the best I can do is just be that example, be that mentor, be that guide, for your life, be that nurturing source for your life. And that's what I mean. Like when I was growing up, man, I didn't know who Jesus was. We played in church. We acted a fool in church, for real. We was in the building. We just knew it was a place to go. And, it was what it was, but I'm just saying that not knowing who Jesus is at that time was the issue because you spent so much time in the church. And when you grew up in a situation like that, but not know who Jesus is, you're desensitized. You really are.
Makes sense.
I'm conscious of these things today. You start, you start clowning. I'm clowning too. That's what Samantha was saying. Yeah, and you only needed one person to start, and then it was on and popping. But then, you know, that's where that age of accountability, you know, you start getting older, you start, oh, wait a minute, this is a little deeper than that. So what I try to do is get the children to understand that early, but also help them understand, like, growing up, you think that going to church and being in Christ means not living.
Yeah. They say that without saying it, but yeah.
Right. We put so many bad, dress like this, act like this, do this, do that. That's the church. Stop chewing gum. Get that out your mouth. Sit in the back. Sit down. Close your mouth. Put that. Sit on. Close your legs. Cross your feet. All of that stuff, and the delivery.
Yeah, it's always sucky.
Breaks the child.
Yeah.
They become rebellious. They become angry. They become frustrated. I'm sick and tired of sitting like this. I feel like I'm locked up, and I'm in. You put a little girl in a long dress and hard shoes.
Yeah. And tell her to listen to thick doctrine for 2 hours. Yeah. Decipher the Trinity for me, sweetheart. Put that Barney down for 1 second. Tell me, how is Jesus 100% man and God at the same time, baby? Yeah. And don't fall asleep. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, man. It's a crazy world.
Yeah. Because for too many generations, we made it about how you look. And the Bible clearly says man looks on the outward appearance, God looks on the heart. But the reality is God looks on your the outward appearance as well.
Yeah. And it's bigger than
you
that.
You have to be conscious about how you present yourself before the Lord.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Right. But 100%. that's not the intention. The intention is not for me to be the clothing police.
Right.
Yeah.
All right.
Right.
Yeah.
That something has to work from the inside out.
Right. 100%.
Right. I heard a woman say, I used to love wearing tight clothes, short skirts, high heel shoes, and I joined this ministry and I watched the other women. No one ever said anything to me about my dress code.
Beautiful.
They never said anything. But the first time I stood before the church, the first lady came up to me and said, sweetie, I don't want to complain about your dress code or anything like that. It's just that if you're going to come stand before the church and present something, we're going to need you to be more modest in your attire. So you come to church, but when you're standing before the church, you're not representing the leadership of the church. Right. And so there is an expectation there.
Yeah.
Right. And this sister said, gradually, when I went shopping, my dresses got longer and longer. Because I was not looking like the people around me. So something happened on the inside of this woman, because of the culture around her. She said, I didn't get the browbeating. I didn't get people looking down. I realized I was not looking like everybody else.
I think it's that understanding, like the conversation, like, instead of just kind of explaining like what's being seen, it's like the perceptions and things of that nature. Just kind of, hey, let me just tell you what we see, just like suggestion, like I had, and Sam, the church I got saved that I started going to because of Sam, and we had a Mother Norris, like, Church of God in Christ, old school, felt modest dress, but she would never be disrespectful. Like, so if you come in as a woman and your dress is kind of high, she'd come over and gently, pat you on the back, and she had like a scarf, Church of God in Christ got scarves. She threw the scarf just gently over your dress and just keep moving.
Why is that the Church of God in Christ scarf?
Because it is.
Why can't it be apostolic?
And I mean, we far left with the conversation, no doubt. But I mean, I think there needs to be connection before correction. I think you got to have, like, you kind of.
It's true.
That's it's kind of, I don't know, out of order. It's kind of hard to call it without. There's no black and white situation, but there's what's the connection? Like, who are you that's correcting me? And then can I feel that you corrected me in love? You feel me? Like, or is it just you can't stand to see my thighs because you used to have thighs like me and all this kind of stuff, like,
but I think
what's going on? But I mean, if she did it in love, then it's all great.
Yeah, I think that's in parenting too. Let's keep it real. Sometimes as parents, I feel like our century of dads, we are trying to get more of a connection with our children so the correction can go deeper. instead of just standing on such the outside and trying to correct like the prison guard, you know, clean your room, you know, bed check, you know, like toss it, you know. Like, I've tossed, but you know, I've tossed in love. Like I done gave you 3 times. now I'm flipping everything over, you know. But it's more like you said, getting more of a connection with our children to have like we always talk about, have the conversations instead of just telling you what to do and you just like, why?
That when we were coming up, that was such a hard to ask question. You know what I'm saying? Like, why was one of the most disrespectful, I guess, questions you can ask. Why? And there's the way that you can say why disrespectfully though. Like there's a time where you like if you get a direct command, why ain't necessarily the follow-up. You know what I'm saying? Like but that's probably should be understood within your culture. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like how we got this, if I'm in the military or something, certain times why ain't necessarily the question I need to ask, because we're in a certain situation where there is no questioning. There's rank, there's command, and you respect it, right? The why has already been established by his title in his position. But like, I think when you're a part of something, I don't think why we do, why should I don't think those are such bad questions. We all have a culture, no matter what it at your job, you know what I'm saying, or in your church, which they don't admit, but you got a culture in your church. That's separate from the Bible itself, or even your denomination. Your church has a culture. Like I've been to some churches where they respond a certain way. You hear a lot of, "Oh, that's good, Reverend." say a word, sir. You know what I'm saying? Like that's a culture within your own church. You know what I'm saying? The Bible doesn't say you have to say it that way. You could just say amen to be done with it, right? But that's a culture. But like in that culture, to get an understanding of why we do what we do, I think is super, super important. And if you can get somebody to buy into it, you'll get a stronger member or family member, whatever kind of thing you're a part of. You know, if you could just explain why we do what we do, then they can see the significance. And then like what Pastor's saying, then they'll self-regulate and say, nah, let me chill out. I'm not gonna bounce the ball in here because I don't want this to fall and do this. You know what? Let me take myself down from the pulpit so I don't hit the community table. That's where we do all the. I don't know whatever your thing is, but I'm saying if they can understand it, almost like Pastor said, it won't be out of ignorance. You know, anything that's violated therefore would just be stupidity or lack of judgment in the moment. But why is a critical question, man? But it seems like folk don't like you to ask that.
Yeah. Ron says, why helps you do things with purpose because you know your why, because you know why. Right.
Absolutely. Yeah. I mean, that's, you know, that can almost be a life and death situation, understanding your why.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
You know,
definitely have to be, have to be able to understand the why. Somebody has to be able to explain it past because I said so. Yeah.
Yeah. But and to Sam's point, I heard the answer so many times, and now I'm taking it easy on the folk. They probably didn't know why, because what we pass tradition now. That's what we do, good and bad. We'll pass it along, and if the why wasn't explained to them, either I'm not gonna get the true interpretation of it, or I'm gonna just get the answer Sam talking about. Well, just because, you know, and there was a homie. I had a homeboy named Kerry. Kerry talked kind of what we would call back in the day, forgive me for my ignorance, he talked white. And then I had another friend named Bunjo. Bunjo, and then we out there walking, and Bunjo say, man, you know, Kerry just got talking about, man, put some gangster in your talk. But what he was trying to say, it was ignorant, but in our, you know, that could have got Kerry in some trouble. And if we walking with you, you can also get us in trouble, because then we don't want to look like the person that just let Kerry get whooped. You know what I'm saying? But like, it's important to understand what we do, so like so everybody who does it can have their own, so they can self-regulate. If you just waiting on me and you can't really defend what we do, I mean, not to say that you got to sit there and fight every fight, but I'm just saying when you got an understanding of what it is we do, and then it brings a reverence, a respect. You know what I mean? It's a safety. Sometimes you got to understand why we do what we do for safety when I'm not there. You know, so it's an important question that and maybe it's on the leaders. Maybe the leaders got to make that
distinction
a little bit more. You know, maybe people don't feel free to ask the question. I don't know. I don't have the answer. I just know it's important. That's
a big one. Sometimes, not feeling free to ask.
it's setting. There's a time and a place.
Time and place. No doubt.
That too. But sometimes, and I'm gonna call on our church. Pastor would throw it out there, and everyone looking like, I think he really asked us the question. This wasn't rhetorical. They get quiet like that.
And most likely, because I wasn't in that setting, but most likely the hesitation didn't come from y'all church. It came from previous churches.
Previous experience. Yeah, because when I ask a question, I'm looking for an answer, and I'm like, hello?
Yeah. Hello, lights.
I do it. Amen, Walls. Let me turn around and turn this way so somebody feel comfortable.
Yeah. And even when you're responding, it's important. I'm all late for a meeting. Even when you respond, it's important to oh no, I'm not. I got time. To understand, it's still there's a respect carries through all. Right. Respect covers a multitude of ignorance, right? So you got to go through, and when you respond, even with your question, there's some things I would say to my pastor in a setting where he asks us a general question, but I would say it different than how I would say it to him with me and him in the car riding down to Memphis. You know what I'm saying? Like there's a different way of saying it, even though I'm speaking my opinion in both.
Right.
But you know what I'm saying? There's a relationship that I got there, but there's also respect. And if I care about him, I should care about how he's seen by the people. So when we're in front of the people, I'm going to be careful how I say it. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Same thing with my wife. I tell her all about herself in the room, but I'm going to say it a certain way in front of my kids.
Right.
So they, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not trying to let it be free shop. Just tell your mama what you really think about it. Like, I can't, you know what I mean? If that makes sense. So it's it's a respect in all things, but it has to be space and it has to be freedom, but it has to be space to ask why. Yeah. Why we wearing black and white on First Sunday? What's the big deal with communion? Why do I need to be quiet in church? Do I have to hold my finger up? You know what I'm saying? Like, I need to be in the house by this time because of what?
The finger, saying? Finger's an option. You don't have to. I don't even know what that means.
Yeah.
We can't see him. You got the finger up.
I'll tell you about that later, bro. That go back to slavery. They used to have to go. They used to have to have their hand up to have permission to get up. Yeah. But we carried it right on through. But I don't mess with nobody about their finger. Though.
But I don't want to mess with that because that's when I get into watch night and all that kind of stuff.
I don't mess with that finger.
I ain't trying to go there. I'm supposed to be a pastor.
Yep.
I was talking to my cousin on the phone last night. He was like, man, I hadn't talked to him in a long time. He called me last night, wanted to talk to my mom. He's like, man, I just, it's good to hear your voice, cuz. Yeah, it's good to hear your voice too, man. I'm proud of you, man. Yeah. I'm trying to be careful how I talk, man, because you the Rev.
Oh man.
Yeah.
Like what? Like, did it ever occur to you that I want you to do you?
Yeah.
Right. Because like I don't want, I appreciate the respect for the title and all that, but
right.
I'm Brian. I'm your cousin.
Right.
Yeah.
We used to fight.
Right.
We played football, basketball. We did all that stuff together. So, I don't need you to put on your Sunday suit to have a conversation with me.
Right.
Now, I appreciate your feeling.
Yeah.
Right. But I don't want to elevate myself to a place where you feel disingenuous having a conversation with me.
True.
Right. Now, if you say something that's offensive, I'm going to tell you.
Right.
I'm going to get you,
Right.
But when we say things like, well, I would say this, but you the preacher.
Right.
What does that mean?
Right, what does that mean?
Yeah.
Go on, say it then.
Go right. Go on, say it, brother.
Evidently you want to say it.
Yeah.
Right. Oh man.
I think that's one of the greatest challenges. But even like with being, but that goes back to fatherhood, because of what fatherhood is supposed to represent. I talk to my daughters, and my wife comes and says something to me, and I'm like, oh, okay, that's interesting. She said that. Yeah, she said that. Okay. And then my daughter come back and say something to me after my wife has said something. And I'm like, well, you could have told me that. Well, Daddy,
you're right. Like, okay. But when did I become that? Because I thought I was telling my wife, and I said, like, what's something that, after all these years later, you like surprised about me, you know what I'm saying? She said she thought I was more laid back. I said, I'm as cool as they get. What you mean? You know what I'm saying? But apparently I've been sweating stuff, you know what I'm saying? So I'm the guy you can't tell something to first, and you got to soften up. I didn't know that. I was chilling as far as I thought.
Yeah, that my wife, she softened things up too for me. I'm like, this, it is what it. Just tell me, I'm gonna take it like I'm gonna take it. But just sometimes just go ahead, let's get it out. Let's go and get it out. She's like, wait, I won't put nothing on there. I'm like, this is what I'm here for. Just dump it on right there. Put on the back there. That's funny. But yeah, definitely having those conversations and talking about dad showing up and just teaching our children to communicate. Just communicate. I think that's a big one. Just teaching our children to communicate and like you said, and being themselves, Pastor. I think that's a big one. Like I want my children to. You really.
His first name is Clarence, and Clarence lives at home with both his parents. And Clarence's parents have a real good marriage. All right, my bad. I got it. Wait, hold on, y'all. I got to get saved again.
Yeah. You already messed with the finger, so like.
Does this do it? There
you go. Right there.
Yeah. You know, mess with the finger, bend the heel, and all. This whole in 1 hour. What's going on in Solomon's Temple, man?
Oh man.
I won't get an invitation to speak at nobody's church.
Nobody's.
Zoe for the chitlin circuit.
I was going to show y'all this video was floating around. This guy, this dude here. I don't know if y'all seen this dude. I know you've seen him because he ain't nobody saved according to this dude. This dude right here.
Jennings. Yeah.
Oh Lord. Yeah.
Geno Jennings or something.
Yeah, I know who he is.
Jenkins. What is his name?
Jenkins.
Is it Jenkins? Geno Jenkins is up. Yeah.
But listen, I want y'all got to be in your Bible before you listen to him.
Right.
Because he speaks with such confidence and he speaks with a lot of different scriptures.
Yes.
And he misinterpret them. He'll mess you up.
Yeah.
Just listen to
he
him
will mess you up.
Don't listen to him.
You're right. Lisa's like, oh Lord, that dude. Right.
That sound right a little bit. Like,
look, when he get through talking, you're like, I'm going to hell.
It's over. I done messed up.
Right.
He like to listen to him preach. I'm like, oh man, I got all that wrong.
Yeah.
Right. I'm listening to him like, oh, you gotta wait a minute. Where you going with this?
He's one of those like,
you're like, okay.
You say you ain't really saved.
He be preaching for like an hour. I listen for 15 minutes and he sent me to hell 3 times every sermon. I guarantee it. I'm telling you. And that's a whole other subject. Somebody got to stand on the wall. Somebody got to get stuff right. But like and that's what we're talking about with connection before correction piece. And I'm not gonna put this on him. I don't know this man, but let me just tell you sometimes what I vibe with. You send me to hell sometimes, and I think that you're happy that you're doing it. And where's the mercy? Where's the compassion? Like if I messed up, help me get right, bro. Don't see like, Lord, I got another one. Like it's not your job to fill up hell best you can. And
it's like, my thing is, it's really who you really mad at.
He mad. He big mad.
Who you mad at? But here's the thing. Like I love him. I respect him. because there's levels to this.
Yeah.
To everything. Right. My question is there a heaven for a King Saul?
Right.
Yeah.
Crickets.
Yeah.
Right. If there's a heaven for a King Saul, your dress ain't gonna take you to hell. Right. I'm a believer in quality of life. I'm a believer in modesty. I'm a believer in all of those things, but there's levels to that.
Right.
But I'm also a believer in what's in your heart.
Right.
Because what's in your heart drives your behavior.
Right.
So I want to deal with the matters of the heart to impact your behavior.
Yes.
If I'm going to deal with matters of your heart, I can't just snap on you.
Right.
But what I believe, because even when I preach, I'm considered a hard preacher. When I'm preaching, I'm considered a no nonsense. But y'all know I'm silly. I get real silly. But when I preach the Bible, when I preach the gospel, when I teach the word of God, I'm going to give you what the word says.
Yeah.
I'm not giving you me.
Right.
I'm giving you what I've lived. Right? There's a difference. So I'm not going to tell you, stop doing that.
Right.
I'm going to give you what that can lead to.
Yeah.
And there's the why. Why do you feel it necessary to do it that way? What do you gain from that? What do you get out of doing that? Right? Here's what I've learned. Here's what I've experienced. And here's what the Bible says. You don't have to get it. So when you start doing stuff like this and you parading people around, listen to his talk. Listen to the tone.
Yeah.
You took the Christian wig off, put it on.
Yeah. And he big on debating people too.
Yeah. Oh yeah. 100%.
You Christians.
You have so-called Christian celebrities that look like this.
Yeah. Where you got them outfits from though?
First lady in churches, pastor wives. You look like this. You let your children look like this. You let many of the mothers in the church look like this. You go to so-called Christian concerts.
My church mother don't dress like that.
I know.
I want to see all them thighs out.
The Bible says,
In like manner also,
that
women adorn themselves in modest apparel.
what is so modest about this?
So what he's doing is he's taking the extreme
Trying
Yes,
to,
indeed.
and trying to make it the standard.
Yes.
Right.
Yes.
Because he says, you Christians, y'all churches, y'all pastors, y'all first ladies. So he's putting everybody in a bucket.
Right.
Right.
Yep.
Right.
And he's dealing with the book of Jeremiah. He's dealing with the book of Deuteronomy, and he's using scripture. And what I find interesting is the conversation is about how we see you, and it should be about how God sees you.
Yeah. That's
You
good.
understand? Because I am so against women dressing like this. I might be sending a message. Maybe I have a problem keeping my eyes under control. So stop showing me your boobies because I can't stop looking at them.
I can't. I gotta look at them all the time. Yeah. That's
Right.
what he's saying.
That's what he's saying. I can't have y'all up in the church like this because I can't handle it. The men can't handle it. Right. And that's the vibe that you get. Right. And now, sometimes we have the propensity to take away from what the scripture is saying and start telling you how we feel.
Right.
And that's where we get lost. I'm not saying he's lost. I'm not trying to come against this man of God.
No.
That's a man of God right there.
Yeah.
He gonna come.
But everybody
He gonna
has
come
a
to you.
different perspective.
Right. He does.
Yeah.
Yes, indeed.
So as a father, I want to make sure you are informed. I want you to be comfortably you.
Mm-hmm.
Right. But what I have to be careful of is when I say what you're going to do and what you're not going to do.
Yeah.
I have to use those terms very, very wisely, and I have to properly place those terms. Like you're not going outside today. No, you're not going outside today.
Right.
That works.
Right.
That works.
Yeah. 100%.
But this whole, you're not going to be a doctor. You can't love this kind of person.
Right.
You start stepping into that territory that doesn't belong to you.
Right.
You're not going to dress like this. You're not going to put that on. You're not. Let's. There's where you need to be teaching and not directing.
Yes.
Anyway, we way over time.
It's all good.
That's my fatherhood philosophy, man. I want to teach, guide, and not and spend less time chastising, spend more time teaching, loving, nurturing, advising. Even though I'm looked at as a hard man, it's hard to balance that stuff. It's hard to be loving and strict, it's hard to help them understand that it's love when you're being strict.
Right.
Yeah.
Like,
so you got to be careful with that stuff.
I get aggravated because I love you. You know, like if I didn't care, I wouldn't care. But I love you.
It's gonna hurt me more than it hurts you, man.
yeah.
I'd rather you cry now than me cry later. Like,
oh man, that's a classic line right there.
I guess I can get that. All right,
yeah, definitely. All right, guys. So we appreciate you guys for being here. Another edition of the Brothers of Legacy. Make sure you share and go to our podcast. Make sure you check out if you missed any episodes of broadcast. Make sure you are going to the podcast. So definitely, I need you guys to sign up or join our Discord community. The link is in YouTube. I don't put it on Facebook because Facebook already shadow bans, and I'm pretty sure I'm already shadow banned. But you know, it's a shadow ban, so I don't really know it. I just know that some days nobody gets any indication that we're on. It's just happenstance, and I do the same thing every morning. So make sure you go to the Discord community. Like I said, the link is in the YouTube space. But if you go to our Facebook page, it'll say, I think, click app or something of that nature, and you can go directly to our Discord page. Join it. We're going to be having some after conversations, and some of these conversations after that I'm going to record, of course, edit some things out because we do some real talking with names, dates, and people that we don't want to share. But we appreciate you guys for always supporting and being here, on here consistently. Definitely don't take it for granted. I appreciate you guys immensely. All right. So my thing is moving slow. Somebody put a comment. I can't see it. All right. Deborah. All right. There we go.
Mama said she's watching.
Okay. She said, true. I am watching. Indeed. You have a great day as well, Deborah. All right, guys. So we will see you in the AM. Continue to be safe. Do the right thing. And know that we love you, but God loves you more. And continue to stay safe. All right. That's it. I'm done. We out.
You're watching the Brothers of Legacy. We don't stand out.